So I know there's been a lot of talk about how resources are really tough in the game now, and how it's quite difficult to play because of it. So today we're just going to have a little look at a couple of very easy, simple ways to collect resources. And this is the method I use the most at the moment, which is basically just spamming the artillery outposts on the draconian bases. So if you hit both of them with a fairly decent fleet, a fleet that can hold say 68 mil at 500%, 70 mil roughly, then you're gonna take home 70 mil on just these two hits. And if you come in exactly the same as I've come in on this one on the corner, I think this is the second hit I'm on now. So my two super fortresses have died, and they help absorb a bit of damage on the first hit. But really, you just want, like, I would say 4, maybe 6 hellstorms on the fleet, just to cover the assault mortars coming off the DNX, and then just put some phalanx on there as well. This fleet runs Shock Q and Siege S, but if it had Siege B, it would actually be a lot better. I haven't had a chance to refit this fleet yet. But yeah, this is a really easy method of salvaging, and this is actually a great way if you've only got like 10 minutes just to quickly log in. You can quickly log in, and as you can see, I've got 67 mil on this fleet now. You can just quickly log in, go hit the 2 artillery outposts, send them home, and click repair. You're probably going to be looking at like 3-hour, 4-hour repair on that fleet, but you know, for 70 mil res, you know, you can just click in the morning before you leave, or you know, in the middle of doing something, you can just log in, quickly whack one, send them home, repair, and you're stacking res pretty quickly. You're stacking like 15 mil, 16 mil in each res per hit on that one, which is quite a good little jump, especially if you need res fast. And there's a few different fleets that can do that. It doesn't have to be DNX. It's just at the time I was using those outposts to rank this fleet up. And I'll show you the setup now as well. I think I'll show you the set here. Yeah, so as you can see, Q's, S's, 2 phalanx, 2 hells each. You can probably work out a slightly better set. I mean, this fleet was never actually designed for that purpose. It just sort of filled that gap in my dock. So that's one method you can use, and I'm going to show you another method now. This is Specter's autopilot in the 51s, and again, this is another really easy method to salvage. You can do this during raids, and you can do this during events, just actually in between while you're hitting outposts and stuff. You know, I know a lot of people complain that they run low on zinth during raids, and this is a really easy way just to keep things ticking over. And I go into this attack just to show you that I'm not, you know, controlling, just to show you what goes on while it's inside. And as you can see, because the siege torps just eat them up so quick, it's madness really, that, you know, how effortless that is. And as you can see, the red bar was pretty close there, so you're probably thinking that without the flagship, they would die. So I'm going to give you a little example here of them killing a 51 without the flagship. And this fleet, these Specter fleets, I'm going to show you the setup in a minute. They can also take 71s, but in the 71s, one thing you need to make sure of is that your flagship is repaired, because if your flagship isn't repaired on the 71, you will take damage. You need the flagship to be alive, so the ships come closer to you faster to give you that extra window of time. So they can autopilot every level salvage, those Spectres can, and they can do it for free. Just bear in mind on the 71s, the flagship needs repaired. And it's a fairly standard set. I mean, it's 2 V armors, a turn armor, battery free and engine free, and then all siege torps. Now I know what you're thinking, you know, it's very easy for me to say this with the fleets I've got there, so let me show you an example of some very low tech and some very basic tech salvaging for free also. So I believe this fleet has no draconian tech on it whatsoever, and it's very, very basic. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, control is everything. This is obviously advice for some of the lower end players, some of the newer players in the game. The way you control a fleet and the way you stack a fleet is really vital, and you need to make sure that you practice that before coming into the bigger salvages. Maybe hit some of the lower end ones and just practice your technique a little bit first. But really, you want to just keep driving, and you want to keep those ships right on the outer edge of your ring. use that range ring as your guide, and just keep them right on that edge. And be careful, because one of those battleships has assault missiles that range at 76, and I think this fleet ranges at 82. So you need to be very, very cautious with that. But yeah, I mean, it's fairly straightforward. I mean, for a lower level player, there's 5 million resources there. Could not be easier. And I mean, I was doing this in this particular base. I was doing this with battle barges, with the very similar build. So you don't necessarily need to have seawolves. You don't need to be. You can do this at level 30, even level 25. Now I'm going to show you the setup now, and I'm going to also show you a battle barge setup that does the exact same thing, but just requires a little bit more control, a little bit better control, because obviously you don't have as much speed as the seawolves do. So there you can see, I mean, it's very basic. Solid fuel boosters 2, engines 2, targeting 2, and then just a mixture of cutlass. I think we've got 4 frees and a 2 there. So very basic, very standard. Now let's have a look at a setup that can also do it on the battle barges. I've got battle barge A, but I'll show you on the standard. So again, nothing spectacular. Solid fuel boosters 2, engines 2, and then just a mixture of cutlass, really, whatever you can fit on there. I think you'll probably get 2 frees and a 2 on this one. Very standard build, very easily accessible to the lower end players, and a very easy way of progressing your base fairly quickly. I mean, you need to, as a player in the game, you need to make sure you focus on having a way of collecting res fast and easy, so you can progress at a good speed. So there you go. I mean, that build's not too bad. It is, I agree, it's a quite high 1 day, 15 hours for a battle barge, but that fleet will salvage for free forever. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.